we're sort of, the way we tape the show is that we do the interview first and then we come back and we do these little things. And Sydney was giving a tour to our guests today. And I looked, and all of a sudden the new renderings for the replacement Chiefs Stadium came out.
Oh, no way.
And they're awesome.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah. So,
All right.
so we don't have them loaded up on the screen, but I mean, obviously the stadium is very expensive, and taxpayers are helping to fund it. But I was hopeful that whatever they did, that it would be distinctive. And to me, that's distinctive.
That's pretty distinctive.
It's a glass roof.
Oh, is that what that is?
That is a glass roof or some polycarbonate kind of thing.
Something.
But like,
I wish I could
it
make
looks
this
like an
picture
outdoor
bigger.
stadium, but it's an indoor stadium. And I have no idea how they're going to cool it.
That thing?
Yeah, that thing.
You know what it looks like?
Uh-oh. What does it look like?
It looks like an old school like police hat with the brim and like the flat.
It does look like
Doesn't
that.
it?
So we're going to have to come up with our own line of Chief Stadium hats now. Thank you, Sydney.
Well, that's kind of, it kind of just reminds me of like the tip of the hat, kind of how it has the brim and then the.
Yeah. There you go.
Or like a captain's hat. I think that's what I'm trying to think of like a boat captain's hat. I think is what it reminds me of.
What if that's the new Chiefs thing, like the big cheese hats that they have up in Wisconsin, but it's like the Chiefs? Yeah.
Chiefs captain. Sure.
That's
a stretch.
Not all of my ideas can be good, Sydney. Welcome to Ask a Kansan,
A podcast where we're amplifying, connecting, uncovering, and educating Kansas.
Educating because this is August and it is our month on education in Kansas.
Because school's back, baby.
Yeah. And so this is the third episode in that series. If you've missed the first two, go check those out. Those were great conversations. Today,
we have Hanna Mick on. And Hanna Mick is a elementary school counselor, but she also has a lot of other fun things about her that we'll let her talk about.
So without any further ado, here's Hanna Mick. Hello, welcome.
Hello, how's it going? Just come on over.
This is great.
Okay, tell me the rules. The rules of the roost here.
Oh, it's fine. There's no rules. You sit down, we adjust your mic, and it's fine.
No
rules.
There's no rules.
Well, this is not like school.
It's not like school. Okay. So we'll have you adjust it however you
I don't know.
feel
You tell me.
Not in your face, but not like totally in your face.
You
There you go.
tell
Right there. There we go.
That looks great.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
No touchy.
It's fine. Well, you can touch
I
it a
talk
little
with
bit.
my hands.
I
I'm
touch
gonna be
mine
like,
a lot.
Yeah, we touched the mic.
Do you touch
quite
it?
a bit,
Oh,
yeah.
I touch.
Okay.
I'm all over
We
it.
can touch
Probably
it. We can.
makes Merlin and everyone else crazy.
Okay, well, I saw you guys on a video, but I don't. I'm Hannah.
Oh, I'm Sydney.
Sydney, what's
yes.
up?
Yeah,
Hey,
nice
good to meet you guys.
Yeah,
Nice to
thanks
meet
for being
you.
here today.
No problem.
Okay, so can you introduce yourself for our audience?
Yeah. So my name is Hanna Mick, and I'm an elementary school counselor in Topeka, and I also work for KSDE part-time as a counselor leader consultant. So we help counselors across the state if they run into a bind or if they need something or if they need professional development or anything. They can literally call us and have us help them. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
Brilliant. So Kansas Department of Education, right? KSD.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the
Just
one
wanna
and
make
only.
sure.
The one and only.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
You've done a lot of really cool things, and I don't even know where to start. So we're just gonna start from the beginning. Where are you from? Kansas? Are you originally from Kansas?
I am from Harrington, Kansas
Oh,
originally.
okay.
So this, being in Salina,
It's like back home.
this is the big city.
Yeah.
I mean, this is where we would have to go to the well, we could go to Junction, but like
Yeah.
this or Manhattan
you
was
went
the
to town.
big city.
Yeah.
When you were going to the mall, when you were, this is where we would come. So
Nice.
yeah.
Well, brilliant. And then from Harrington, you went to school at K-State?
Yep. Go Cats.
Go Cats. Bachelor in advertising?
Yeah.
So what made you do that first? Yeah, I'm saying we're starting from the beginning, so I'm super curious.
I love this. We're getting down to the nitty gritty.
We are.
Okay, so I started out with a bachelor's in advertising. I also was doing art education, ended up dropping art ed and just did the advertising thing. And I started working for a company in Manhattan, J&T company. They are awesome. I love them. But it was one of those things where I was not like soul fulfilled at the end of the day. My boss, Jeff, awesome. My team, awesome. People are like, what's wrong with you? Right? Like, you got a good gig, you got a great team. And I did a little like Hannah soul searching, figuring out what was it that I really wanted to do. And everything came back to working with kids. I had done, oh my gosh, all kinds of stuff working with kids growing up. I helped coach a swim team. I gave swim lessons. I was always at the pool. But then I would help tutor kids. My mom was a principal. And so I would tutor kids after school. Even in college, I would tutor. These were non-traditional students, but I would tutor students from other countries that were trying to get their high school diploma. And so it was all education based, all student focused. And I love that kind of work. And so I thought, I guess this is it, you guys. I got to switch it up. So I did, and I've never looked back. It's been awesome.
Right. So you've been in advertising for a little bit. What made you land on counseling of all the things?
Yeah.
I was talking to my friend Mallory, who is a school counselor, and my mom, and they had come to Manhattan to see me. And I was like having this crisis moment of, I don't know what I want to do with my life. And Mallory literally said, why don't you be a counselor? You'd be good at that. And my mom was like, that was my favorite job. So my mom had been a teacher, a school counselor, a principal, a superintendent.
All the things.
She had done all of the things. And so that was always her favorite. But not that, I thought about being a teacher, but I kind of knew the role of the school counselor a little bit better because on the way to school, so we went to school in Chapman. So we drive from Harrington to Chapman every day. And my mom was the counselor there and she would practice the lessons on my brother and I in the car.
Double school.
Yeah. And so it's funny because my mom actually thought my brother would end up being a counselor because he was like really good at coming up with additional ideas or activities to do. And I'm in middle school, so I'm just like there for the ride. Right.
Yeah.
But I think that was probably it. I thought that was a good time in my life. It was fun. And a big part of it, I love rooting for the underdog. Right. And that's what school counselors do because we're there for every student. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from. We are here for you and we're here to be your advocate. And that was something that in all my work with kids, at the pool, it was always, maybe a friend who needed a little extra help. Or I remember one time helping a kiddo learn how to dive. They wanted to learn how to dive so bad, but they didn't have money for swimming lessons. And so when I would have my time inside, I would come out and help them learn how to dive in the pool. And the day we got it, that was a good day. But that was kind of really, I think it. I mean, I know teachers root for underdogs too, but I think that's really like the bread and butter of counseling. Yeah.
What is the role of a counselor? I think I know, but maybe it'd be good to have you explain it.
I actually love that you asked this because I think a lot of people
they
don't know, right?
They just know what is it, Emma from Glee, and that's about it.
And like the counselors on TV are the worst.
They always have their own set of issues that you just can't get over.
And you're just like, no, please no. Yeah. So I love that you brought that up because a lot of people think of guidance counselor and we're really we're not called guidance counselors anymore, but people still call us that. So we're making that shift from guidance counselor to school counselor. Guidance counselor, what you would quintessentially think of when you think of a counselor, sits behind a desk, pushes out some paperwork, maybe talks to some students, very reactive, not proactive, and they probably don't run what we call a comprehensive school counseling program. Now, the shift to school counselor, this is where things get great because we have 3 domains that we work in. We work with students academically, we work with them with career planning, and we also do social emotional learning. And so you have to have all 3 of those pieces to have a comprehensive school counseling program. And then within that, you're also doing 3 other things. You are meeting with kids individually to work on. I mean, it could be anything, right? It could be maybe their parents are going through a divorce. They need somebody to talk to. We got you covered. Maybe they've got a little anxiety and you're working on some coping skills. We've got you covered. I mean, all of those things, anything that you can think of that could be a problem for a student, we're there to help. And then we do that individually. We do it small group. So if you have a cluster of friends that need help with, again, anxiety, anger management, we have a huge group at school that is called Banana Splits, and we meet once a month for all of our students who have divorced or separated families. So it might be a small group. We we run bigger ones too.
Man, I know. That was around when I was a kid.
know. We have all kinds of good stuff. And then we also do classroom lessons. And so especially at the elementary, all levels should do lessons, but it just sometimes the systems don't always support that when it gets to middle school and high school. But so we have classroom lessons that we do Character Strong at our school. So it really just addresses character traits like honesty, respect, empathy, responsibility, leadership. I mean, anything that you would want your kid to leave school knowing how to do, that's what counselors are doing. Yeah.
Awesome.
Brilliant.
Those life skills.
Those
Yeah,
life
think
skills.
of it as life skills. That's kind of what I like to think of it as. Or they sometimes call them durable skills because they're going to last you your lifetime. So,
Brilliant.
yeah.
So speaking of the programs, tell me about junior coaches.
Oh, okay. So Junior Coaches is a fun little program that I cannot take credit for it. I listen to a lot of podcasts. So when people are like, let's do a podcast, sign me up, because I listen to them. But I listen to Dr. Becky Bailey's podcast, Conscious Discipline. I love her stuff because it just makes sense. But she had a lady on and they were talking about recess problems. And I was like, yes, sign me up. Like, that's where so many problems happen. It's unstructured. We're watching them, but things happen. So we had a group of students that a lot of trouble was happening at recess. It was making recess kind of chaotic for everyone, the students, the staff out there. And we had tried all of the things. We had done restorative circles. We have done individual counseling. We have done discipline. We have done behavior. I mean, all the things that you can think of, and none of it is working. So driving to school, I hear this junior coaches idea, which was brilliant. They basically, what you do is you take students, you can take both. You can take students who are struggling at recess and students who are killing the recess game, right? So you've got ones who are having a hard time and then ones who are going to be more of like your peer models. And you can smush them together into a group and you teach them conflict resolution skills. So they go through a training program, which we developed at my school. We didn't take Dr. Becky Bailey's because she didn't have one, but I just took the idea from her. So we trained them for about 2 weeks. And then instead of them going, they still went to recess with their peers, but what they did was they learned how to solve issues and problems. And then these older kids, they're, sixth graders, they're going out to recess with second graders and they're helping. See, like the light bulb clicks on. So they're helping second graders solve their problems. And then eventually it bleeds into their own life. So initially it was like, I had, of course, sixth grade recess duty. So I'm handling this anyways, but I would hear them playing games and they'd say, "Oh, guys, we've got to solve this conflict peacefully." So initially, like they're being little turkeys, but I'm like, I don't care because they're talking about it, right? They're thinking about it. And then they actually solved it well. And so they're doing such a good job. I mean, it was crazy. Like they did such a phenomenal job at working with the younger kids that we would be headed out to recess and they would only go out to recess with the younger students once a week. And the second graders would say, "Are the junior coaches going out today?" And I say, "Oh, no, they're not. Oh, man, I have a problem." And I said, "I'm your counselor. I can help you." "No, we want to talk to them." "Okay, got it.
So much cooler.
They are. But I mean, I love that one, that you could pause the problem. We could figure it out another day, but that they wanted to reach out to peers for help. And I think that that's so cool. So that's when I think, you've got something good going.
Well, and the thing that stood out to me the most is some of the stats. So you said you had a couple of students that had some issues. One of them, the discipline referrals to the office decreased by like 71%.
Yeah, it was insane.
And another one by 77%.
Yeah. So this was when we first started it out. We just kind of had a guinea pig run with it. And we had a couple students that we were working with, and it wasn't a reward to do this, but you knew if you were doing this, you had to have good behavior because you're now a role model for second graders who are legitimately looking up to you. They really, want to see what you're up to, and they want to hang out with them. And it's so cute. But if you are being a turkey at school, like, you can't go out to recess with them, right? I can't have that happen. So knowing that there was like that little bit of like leadership and role model-esque behavior, they really towed the line. It was awesome.
Has this program filtered out to all the other elementary schools in your district?
Yeah, actually. So some have picked it up. I know 2 others utilize it, and they kind of do their own. They kind of asked us,
their own version
yes,
of it, yeah.
Like, what is it? And then we'll create what works for our school, which I think is great. And I've given them, I have like my training manual, I think on my website, and I send it to anybody who wants it. I mean, tweak it, make it more geared towards your students. Right. I get that it's not a one size fits all thing, but it's a good idea. Yeah. Any way you spin it. Yeah.
That's crazy. And that's so this program is what helped you get nominated for the state of Kansas School Counselor of the Year?
It could have. I don't know. I mean, there's lots
They mentioned it in your little bio.
Okay.
But tell us how was that when that notification came around that you got that, and you're like, what was your reaction?
Well, it's wild, right? You're like, I'm sorry, me? It's kind of one of those things, like, you don't get into education to like win awards. That's not like what we're in it for. Like, I just want to do things that get students bought in and help them to be successful and feel good about themselves, right? Like, that's what I want. And I love scheming up new ideas or having kids tell me ideas like, hey, can we try this? And I'm usually, I wasn't always this way. Actually, I worked in Lawrence, and I had a first grade teacher who is one of the best teachers I've ever seen, Samantha Saltz, shout out to her. But she was always a yes. And so, Mrs. Saltz, can we do this? Yes. And what else can we do to make it better? And I'm like, how do you have time for this, Samantha? And she said, how do you not have time for that? Yeah. I was like, oh, she's so right? So I try my best to keep that mindset when I'm working with kiddos to do, yes. And what else could make this better? And yes, how could we include more kids? And so I don't know. So I'm always scheming. We're always coming up with crazy things that are beneficial, obviously, and help kiddos out. But we're always doing things at my school that are maybe a little bit different. And maybe that's what, helped me out there. But it was awesome. It's been a great experience, and definitely an honor to serve Kansas. Yeah.
This episode is sponsored by Renaissance Cafe. Serving Northern Italian cuisine prepared with a fresh, contemporary influence, the Renaissance Cafe is one of Kansas's favorite restaurants. Whether you're planning a romantic dinner date, a family celebration, or an intimate meal with friends, the Renaissance provides a unique dining experience with an old-world atmosphere. Open Thursday through Saturday evenings, the Renaissance Cafe is located just south of Salina in Assyria, Kansas. Visit renaissancecafeassyria.com to book your reservation today. Do you ever apply lessons you've learned in working with children when you work with adults?
Oh my gosh, yes. You're not that different. Or my poor husband, are you doing the counseling thing right now? Maybe. Or I will also, it's so funny, I think sometimes people can just like smell the counselor on you. Like they know. And I remember when my husband and I first started dating, like, a few months in, he said, can I ask you something? And I said, sure. He said, I have never been with somebody that we go into like Walmart and all these people tell you like their life stories and like details that like I never wanted to hear. So I don't know. I think it's just, yes, we use this and we're good listeners. They can see it on us. We just, yeah, we got you. But I'm here for everybody, I guess.
Love it.
I don't know how to segue into this next one, so we're just gonna blurt it out.
Yeah,
you mentioned in your pre-interview AI integrations and in schools.
Yes,
which is a huge thing. So context, we talked a little bit about cell phone use and electronic use and computers and tablets and things like that with Kathy, who's on the
She's the chair of the Kansas Department, the Board of Education.
Yeah, the Board of Education.
Yeah.
So we've hit on that topic a little bit, but we haven't talked about AI. And so I'm so glad that you are knowledgeable in this. So I guess where can we start in that conversation?
Oh my gosh. This is a hairball.
Because it's just like this big giant cloud, and you have to kind of section it
I
out.
don't even know. I don't even know what string of this ball of yarn to grab onto first. I guess first start with my two I's that I always talk about. What is your intention with it, and what's the impact going to be? I think those are your two things you've got to start with. So if you're using it as a professional, what's my intent here? And then what's the impact going to be? If you're using it, if you're letting students use it, same thing. What's my intention and what's the impact? I also want to make sure that you're using it in a way that technology should be used. Like, don't just use AI for AI's sake, right? And then the other thing to think about too is the balance. I think tech in general, like, just think about what is a good balance. I am not an all or nothing kind of person. I don't think that serves students. I don't think that that's going to serve. I'm thinking, again, back to my domains, career, right? I'm thinking as you get older, you're going to need to know how to use technology. You're going to need to know how to use AI and use it well. But there's so many parts of this. Like, I'm even thinking, I work at an elementary school. People are like, how do you AI at an elementary school? And I'm, part of it is you can talk about AI and never touch it, right? So you can have conversations with students about AI and not, or model. So for example, I had a student, we were doing goal setting. It's January, we're talking about setting goals, and I don't remember the exact statistic, but I said, did you know, class, that by writing down a goal, you're 40% more likely to do it? And I had a student say, how do you know that? And I loved it. I love when a kid challenges me. I love when they're critical, because that's what they're going to have to be moving forward from now into forever. They're going to have to be critical of every piece of information they get, every video they see, every image they see. And I love that he was spicy with me. And I said, well, how would we find out if I'm right or wrong? And they said, Google. So I said, okay, let's get on the computer. And so I just pulled it up on my big screen. I said, let's Google it. I said, what percentage are you more likely to achieve this goal? Type it in, and then it pops up. And it said whatever statistic I had told them was right. And they're like, you were right. I was like, yay me. And I was like, but wait a second. I was like, are we looking at the whole screen? And they're like, yeah, it says it right there. And I was like, what does it say at the very top? And one kid said, AI overview. And I said, oh, so what does that mean? And they said, well, that it's AI. And I said, can we trust AI? Well, then we have kids, yes, and kids, no. And it's like, well, what do we do here, guys? And so I said, we can't trust everything that AI comes up with. It makes things up. But how would we find out if this was really true? And this took them a minute to figure out, like, oh, it told us. I mean, I don't know. And finally, a girl in the class said, I think we would need to research that. And I said, I think you're right. So this took 5 minutes of my class period, but we had that was a whole micro lesson on, we can't always trust what it's saying. We're going to look up where the statistic came from. We found the statistic. We found the university. We found that I was right, guys. But I think, just things like that can help with AI literacy, and they haven't touched a device. They haven't done any AI on their own. But I also think it's not a bad thing to start thinking about how can they utilize it in a way that they know is safe and ethical. I have many, many conversations with a middle school teacher friend of mine. She's an English teacher, and she has said, this sounds crazy, but I don't think that, cheating is always the big, cheating. I'm way in other fields, but that's kind of the hot topic. And she says, I don't think they understand what cheating is. And I said, I don't know. I don't. And she said, let me spin this to you. And I said, okay. And she said, I've asked them, what is cheating? What does it look like? And she said that, the students really came up with, when I take notes off of another person, or when I cheat directly off of another human. So she's
stealing their information.
Yes. So the fact that this AI machine just plopped it out.
Yeah, no one
I
claims
made
it.
I made that up, right? So having those conversations, right? I mean, people just think I'm crazy now when I'm saying this, sharing this information that she's told me from real middle school students. But I'm like, this is legit. Like, I think we really have to teach them what is cheating, what's not cheating, what's safe, what's not safe, because we spend how much time teaching kids how to use a pencil? Years.
Yeah.
Right? Years and years. How much time do we really drill down to teaching kids how to use a device and use it well? Mm-hmm. And I think that has to be a part of education. I mean, counselors do that. We do digital wellness, we do digital literacy, but it's very different now. I mean, the digital literacy before was all, protect your information. You really got to protect your information now, but it's like just knows. It's don't get on that website. Don't say this. Don't do that. Well, now it's way different. It's how do you think critically about everything you see and do? So I think the role of the counselor, along with the librarian and the STEAM teacher and the tech person, and I can go as far as to say the art teacher, right? Because think of all the AI art. I mean, it's going to have to be a collaborative approach that we all need to be just kind of working on together to help get these kids ready for the real world and how this all works.
I feel like another part of that too is the ownership of it. So even here at work, if we use Chat or Claude or something, we say, hey, Chat and I, or Chat came up with, it's like making sure to understand of like, we used AI and this is how we used it. And then having the conversation, not I came up with that idea. Right. It's solely mine. So that's the other, I think the big piece is understanding the ownership of it.
And the verbiage. Yeah. So I have really started to say that it generated it because it didn't create it for you. Yeah. You did not create any. I mean, it was generated. And that's what I really try, because I am super tight with my art teacher in my building, and I'm really tight with a counselor in Georgia who is like art and counseling together. And so I'm trying to be really mindful of creativity is like a human thing. Right? You're making, you're doing, it's with your hands, it's the way you feel. This is just a vending machine. It's just spitting something out for you, right? So I'm trying to be more cognizant of that with my own language, but also with students. So if we have something that was, I don't put created by, I put now generated by. But like I had a student that I worked with earlier this school year, and we created a social story together. And it was great because the social story images were generated through AI. And so she could tell me, what do you want the main character of this social story to be? Oh, I want it to be this animal or what? Okay, great. And then we could replicate that over and over and over. And that created a lot of buy-in to then read the social story. But it was so cute because afterwards, we have this story that she's reading. She's telling people, look at the story that we made with, ChatGPT or with, and so even littles were trying to help them understand that, no, we came up with some ideas, but really this was generated through ChatGPT or whatever we used, Claude, Gemini, all the things. All
of them. But you've been able to, so now I want to talk about, well, obviously Pickles and Piper.
Yeah, I was seeing on your notes it says Pickles plus Piper equals dogs. Like, what does this mean?
Oh, well, I do love Pickles.
So obviously you have a therapy dog, Piper, and then Pickles is your CFO or your.
She's my other dog.
Yeah,
I have two dogs.
Other dogs. Yeah, but they have fun names on your website.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. She's the chief fun officer. She is my chief fun officer. Pickle, that is so true about her. Yeah. Yeah. So Piper, she was our therapy dog at school. She has kind of retired now. So I know she's living the doggy retirement life, which good for her. So she is rocking that. And Pickles is just my home dog, but they have been super fun. They are both golden doodles because I feel like that's what everyone has these days, but they're great dogs, super smart. But Piper, when she was at school with us, oh my gosh, so much fun. Like in so many ways, you think that they're there for the kids. Oh man, I would like there is one teacher that would literally come after school and lay on my floor with the dog after school and just chill. And my lunch ladies, did they have the treats for her in the back? So that was pretty cool. And then we actually had, these crazy ideas that I get that I like to do. We had a group called Paws and Claws, and they were a whole project-based learning group that initially were just making things for Piper. We had a student at school that was like, I want to build her a doghouse and a Halloween costume and a mailbox and a dog bed. And he had all these ideas, and the teacher came to me and said, can we do this? And initially you think, the time, but I go back to Samantha Saltz. Yes. And how can we make this better? Right.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, okay, let's do this. Like, let's figure it out. So one of the teachers at my building, Stephanie Harson, I wrote a grant so that we could get some funds.
Oh, cool.
And then the first project they did was they built her a Halloween costume. But, people are like, how do you have time for this? You're a counselor. Okay, let's talk about that. Because how do you not have time for this? Because we took students who are needing to learn some social skills, and you are building them authentically in a group like this, right? So we can front load things. Like, for instance, the Halloween costume. We can have a conversation ahead of time. You might want her to be a hot dog. You might want her to be a robot. I might want her to be a pickle, right? How are we going to decide what this is? What if you don't get your way? What does that look like? How do we treat the other people in our group? You see where we're going here. So that way, when the fallout happens, we've had the conversation. And now I don't, kick and scream. And they might. But if they do, it's like, hey, we talked about this. Let's congratulate the others for that this is what the dog is going to be. But then the problem solving skills on top of it. I mean, project-based learning groups, the amount of skills you are building, those authentic social skills, leadership skills, problem solving skills, critical thinking, creativity. My list communication could literally keep going on and on forever. So you've got a group of kids that have never made anything like this before. They're now figuring out, we have to make a pattern for this dog costume. We've got to figure out how to use the sewing machines. Do you have sewing machines? How do we get sewing machines? I do.
Sounds scary.
Right? Well, no. But you got, they were third graders sewing on the sewing machine, rocking it out, right? So it's just so cool. And then it kept going and going. And they decided that, Piper's really loved at our building. But what about dogs that aren't so loved? So we started partnering with the Humane Society in town, and a true project-based learning experience, calling them. I had the kids call and say, what do you need help with? How can we help? And they said, we need enrichment toys for dogs. And so the kids got off the phone and they said, we need enrichment toys. And I said, what does that mean? Oh, right. But again, then it's like, figure out what this means, right? So then we're integrating technology in a way that is very helpful. So they're figuring out, what is an enrichment toy? How do we make one? What does that look like? What's the cost? Right? So I don't know if you go back to the tech piece, I guess there's things like this where you're using it in ways that it's third graders that are so cool. And we couldn't do that project if they didn't have tech, or the device to do it. So, and they got to do, they did they made snuffle mats. Look that up, find out what that is.
Is that where they have to chase the food?
Oh yeah. That's like they forage.
Forage.
So
yeah. And then they ended up building a new product line because we were only doing dogs and we should be more inclusive. And so they created they figured all this out on their own, But again, they're doing it by researching and Googling and figuring things. So cool. So that was a good time with old Piper and Pickles.
You mentioned earlier that one of your 3 things you're supposed to be doing is helping with careers.
Yeah.
I'm like, in elementary school?
Yeah.
Is that
that's real, man.
What does that look like?
Okay, so here's the stat that just drives me nuts as a counselor. It makes me sad. So by 3rd grade, students have already kind of in their brains decided what they can be based on race, socioeconomic status, and gender.
Not what they want to be, what they can.
They can't. Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
So and a lot, and so I just that makes me so sad because I'm like, well, you're 9. Yes, you can be an astronaut. Yes, you can be these things, and so they just start to develop their own bias, and not that can't be disrupted. It can. But I got to thinking, how can we disrupt that? How can you find careers that are something you've never even heard of before? So, like, for instance, I went to a Women in Tech leadership conference, and this lady was talking about her son and what he does for a living. And she said, oh, he's a golf club designer. I was like,
Whoa.
I'm sorry, a golf club designer? And she was like, yeah. She's like, to her, I was like, of course he is. To me, like, I don't golf. Like, I would have never thought that would be a career. Or I was just at the big American School Counseling Association conference in New Orleans, and I ran into my friend Christina, who's from Mississippi. She was talking about what her husband does. Her husband does weight distribution for like FedEx for planes.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I said, I'm understand. So like boxes and things. And she said, no, like whales. I was like, what?
Like whales?
Yes. And she said, he has had to ship a whale. Yeah.
So trying to figure out weight and how that works and functions and all the legit.
I want to meet a kid that is what
Is that they're right?
Be.
Like, I want to ship whales. And I honestly, before I came here, I was scrolling Facebook and they were moving like 4 whales to some zoo. And I was like, I bet her husband's shipping whales right now.
I think I saw that same thing. It was like all these guys on this flatbed trailer.
Yeah. I'm like, I wonder
"Ah."
if he's shipping whales today. But this goes to show, like, I am also limited as a professional as to what I know. Right. So, but there's all these crazy jobs out there. And I always wonder, how can I help my students to see that there are so many options and opportunities? So one thing that we did do is with my older students, we did create a school-supported AI tool. And we used it to do career exploration. And so, like, for example, if I told you a student liked dirt biking, video games, and organization, what's he going to be? And he doesn't want to be a video game designer. What's he going to be? Just kidding. I'm not going to ask you that because you don't know. I didn't know. Right. And I was like, dude, I don't know. So we talked to the AI supported tool and it gave several suggestions. He's like, I don't know about any of those. And then it hit on one and he was like, this is it. And I was like, what is it? He's like, an esports manager.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Brilliant.
Like,
what is that?
Go for it.
So esports, obviously, like video games, right?
Yep.
So there has to be someone who manages this whole thing. I actually applied for a job like this in Kansas City.
Oh, yeah.
Recently? No, sorry.
No, not recently. This is like 6 before Folly. But what they do is some of these esports gaming things, they travel throughout the country, throughout the nation. There's also
it's like a team manager.
It's like a
team
team
it is
manager.
a team manager. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
But there's also there's different levels of this. So then you have all of the leagues. Who's managing those leagues? Who's managing just all the Kansas high school esports? Who's managing the KCAC esports teams?
Never thought about that.
Yeah. So you just get a management degree and probably something related to esports in college, and then boom.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
And then I knew about esports.
Yeah.
Never thought about esports manager. So then I'm doing, my own little research. I'm like, how many careers are in esports? Hundreds.
Yeah.
I mean, it blows my mind. And it's just like, it's crazy. I would have never come up with that. I had another one who this makes more sense, but I was very embarrassed because she said, I like fashion, but I also love like helping animals. And I was like, well, those are kind of
Costume design for animals.
Yeah, I know.
Done.
I didn't, but I know that's exactly what it was the pet like fashion.
Yeah.
And like I dress my dogs up all the time. So like I'm super embarrassed as I have pictures of my animals dressed up all over I was like, okay, but I'll buy from you. I'm ready.
Yeah.
And just crazy stuff that it comes up with. I had another one. Cultural journalist was what it came up with for her. She loves traveling, photography.
Yeah.
In my vocab, I was like, tour guide, travel agent. She's like, no. So I think
actually know one of those guys.
Yeah.
Wolf.
Oh,
That's
I don't
what
doubt
it
that.
is.
Being in this line of business, absolutely. So I think that is a way that you can really use AI to open things up for kids to see what is out there. And then they click. I mean, I had a kiddo refusing to do, school's hard.
Yeah.
And so thinking about your future when school's hard and you're in elementary school, it's hard. So, I said, you can put type down anything that you like. He's like, I like hot Cheetos and I like video games. I said, stick it in hot Cheetos and video game. Just see let's see what it comes up with. And it was something along the lines of like marketing for gamers, but like within, like when you play games, like the marketing ads that cut. Yes. Yeah. And he was like, I could do that. I've seen those. And I was like, yeah. So it's just.
I have a high school friend who he works in marketing for Wrigley Mars.
Oh, cool.
And he developed a new brand for Wrigley Mars for gum that has caffeine in it for gamers.
Yeah.
And his designs.
That I think I've seen, or I've seen something similar.
There's gum and there's also like mints.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's cool because like I walk in the convenience store and like there it is.
There it is. It's like, hey, I know the guy that helped make that.
I know.
It's really cool. There's so many unique jobs.
There's so many, and like you're limited by your own exposure. And so I'm thinking, man, if we could expose you to a ton of different things so that you kind of get an idea of what you might want, because that's really what elementary is all about, is that exposure, thinking about different things. And then the older you get, obviously, you're really trying to turn towards some sort of road that you're going to go down. But that's where I think AI can be awesome. There's another great tool out there for definitely high school. It's an AI platform too. There's pieces of it that are AI, but it's called Road Trip Nation. Oh man, that is cool. So it starts off with talking about like noise. So like all the noise that you have, and the noise is maybe somebody telling you have to do this, or all of our family, everybody in our family has been this, so you'll be this. And that how that really is noise, and you need to figure out, is that what you want to do? If it's something that interests you, yes, do it. And then it also talks about, which I love, imposter syndrome. I don't love imposter syndrome, but I love that it talks about that and feeling like, should I be here? Am I good enough for this? I mean, I think, dang, if I could have had that in high school, that would be awesome. But then it takes you down different career paths. You can see all of these videos of people who Road Trip Nation has gone out to, to see what they do. And I mean, it is insane amount. And then eventually you end up figuring out maybe something that you might be interested in. And then you do your own interview of that person. And it's a really cool program. And it's free. Huh. I love that. Free 99, my favorite price.
Free 99.
Yes.
Well, as we kind of wrap up, I do want to mention to our audience, you are also one of the finalists for the National Counselor. Remind me the whole title, the National Counselors Association or Award.
Yeah, it's ASCA, so the American School Counseling Association. Yes. They are our national peeps, and so finalists for National Counselor of the Year.
Yeah. Is this something people can vote on?
No.
I didn't know if you were like nominated or how that works.
What kind of happens is once you are the state
okay
winner, then all 50
that makes sense
of the state winners get
like a battle royale.
It is, yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's a very lengthy process. So you have to fill out all kinds of things about your program, showcasing that it is a comprehensive model, that you're following best practices, what are things that potentially could set you apart, or that kind of thing. And then there's also, references and artifacts. That's another piece with that, back to that AI, man. But we can come back to that. But just showcasing that you are doing what you're saying that you're doing. But yeah, that Kansas Counselor of the Year is pretty awesome. That was like mind blowing, crazy. Because I don't. There's only 2 people from Kansas that have ever. The other one was like 15 years ago or something.
Oh, wow.
So it's been a hot minute. So yeah, amazing. Pretty cool.
If there's one thing you wish every Kansas parent understood about school counselors, what would it be?
Well, I feel like that's just a simple answer.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought that was a hard question because I don't think I could answer it.
I want we're here for every student and them too. That it's a collaborative effort. We want to work with the students. We want to work with families. That's a huge piece. We've got to work together to help out. I think that's pretty simple, but we're here for everybody.
then I'll throw this curveball. What do you think the future of school counseling can be?
Oh,
or should be?
Well, the future of school counseling, I think, well, I'm biased, right? But I think now more than ever, those are the skills that counselors teach, which teachers do too, but we teach them more, I guess, explicitly. That's going to be more important. I mean, in this age of tech and AI, the communication skills, the leadership skills, the critical thinking, the problem solving, all of those things are going to be so important. And you hear, a long time ago, they did Dr. Watson went around and he asked businesses, what do businesses want? And they all said they called them soft skills, but the life skills. They want them to have those life skills. And I think in the age of tech, we're going to have a little bit of both, right? We're going to have a little tech skill, but also a lot of human skill as well. So I think our role is shifting to maybe that digital mentor piece as well, but just doing what we've always done, which is let's do what's best for kids, right? But I think the future, I'm not worried. People are like, is AI going to steal our jobs? And I'm like, no, you don't know. That's not a thing. So, yeah.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for coming on today.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. It's been fun.
Want to spread your organization's message across Kansas? Consider becoming a sponsor. Ask a Kansan has a unique focus on Kansas and its people. By sponsoring our podcast, your organization can reach people from Canarado to Kansas City, Wichita to Washington, and all the great places in between. We have a variety of sponsorship packages available to fit your budget and needs. For more information, visit askakansan.com/sponsorships or call us at 785-571-9507.
Well, we hope you enjoyed that conversation with Hanna. I've come in contact with a few teachers and professors that are really not, I hate to use the word embracing AI, but they're excited about it and energized. And it does make me a lot more hopeful that AI isn't going to just be a bad thing, that there can actually be some really meaningful, positive things from it. And so I hope she's right. And I hope she continues to find good uses for it.
Yeah. She's definitely one of those people that you would stop in Walmart and just tell your whole life story to. She just has that aura and that vibe. And I don't know, we could have probably talked to her for hours.
Yeah. I love those.
Yeah.
Many of our guests are that way.
Yeah.
And it's a joy.
Yeah. Very much so.
Well,
what do you got for me?
Yeah. I warned Sydney earlier that today's segment has an element of danger. And she didn't know exactly what that meant. So, okay, we're going to have to go all the way back to the first episode of Ask a Kansan.
Oh.
There was something kind of odd about the first episode of Ask a Kansan. And that was that our guest was seated here, Sydney was seated here, and then there was this other space where I was seated.
That makes so much more sense now. I was like, why is the camera all the way over here?
We have a camera that's not in its normal place. And so there's this other tiny little set up against the wall here where I sat for the first episode until Sydney's lovely mother said, why is Gus just in some other room just reacting?
Well, it was like a conversation between me and Leslie, and then you would just appear randomly.
Shaking my head.
Shaking your head, or really oh yeah.
So we're going to have to shift this off of our normal set. So I'll be right back.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm going to have to narrate. So you can see Gus. Okay, we have a board that I got yelled at for looking at. Oh, okay. Oh, we did some magic in the studio. Okay, so he hung the board up. It's a cork board with so it's a rectangle cork board. He cut the corner off of it, so it's Kansas.
Okay.
Got it.
We're all on the same page.
We're all on the same page.
Very good. Okay. Yeah.
Narrating this as we go. Okay, so he's got a dart, everybody. Oh, I have a dart. Oh, no. Where did you get a dart?
I may have bought it.
You went specifically out and bought this really nice dart in order to oh my gosh.
Okay, so welcome to my new segment, Dartography.
All right, Sheldon.
Here's how Dartography will work. I have already selected through random chance an area of Kansas to talk a little bit about today. At the end of the segment, you're going to throw your dart at Kansas, And between this and a future segment, I will research wherever your dart lands and give you a little bit of background on that spot. So that is how Dartography works.
Okay.
Okay? So when I randomly threw my dart at the wall, what I came up with was a spot that's a little airstrip outside of a town called Cimarron.
Okay.
And right next door, an even smaller community called Ingalls. These are both in Gray County, Kansas, and pretty small population out there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I have 3 stories to tell you about this little part of our state.
Okay.
Okay. So, and they're not necessarily in chronological order, so I apologize about that. So story number 1, back in the 1880s, out on the frontier, being the county seat was like crazy important for towns, right?
Right, yeah.
And the county seat got the courthouse, they got the records, they got the business. It was kind of like the place that county.
Yeah.
Now, in this county, both Cimarron and Ingalls wanted to be county seat.
Oh, no.
Real bad. And on January 12th, 1889, a wagon rolled into Cimarron carrying a group of hired guns. And not just any hired guns. The man leading them is Bill Tillman, one of the most famous lawmen of the Old West. Riding with him is Jim Masterson. That's the brother of famed Bat Masterson. And their job was to walk into the Cimarron courthouse and physically haul the county records back to Ingalls, making it the county seat.
Okay, that's fine.
So Cimarron's townsfolk, they found out, and they were not happy. And so a gunfight broke out right there in the street. And by the time the smoke clears, 1 man died and several were wounded. And the way the story goes, the whole standoff finally ended when Bat Masterson himself sent a telegram from Dodge City telling Cimarron to back down. Things were wild in this era in Kansas history. It did end up working out well for Cimarron in the end. They did become the county seat for good a few years later. So there's your first story, okay?
Okay.
All right, story number 2. The town of Ingalls basically exists because of 1 man, and his name was Asa, or Asa. Asa?
Asa.
Asa, thank you. Asa Sewell. Asa made his fortune back east selling something called hop bitters, a cure-all tonic. And let's just say that was mostly hops and alcohol.
My kind of tonic.
I guess they called him the Hop Bitters King. So he took that fortune of his out to Kansas, and he decided he was going to make the plains bloom. And the way he decided to do this was try to divert part of the Arkansas River.
Okay.
So he hand dug, well, with a mule, or mules, I'm assuming a lot of mules, because he dug a 96-mile long irrigation canal along the Arkansas River. The problem was that the sandy soil that he dug this canal in was not enough to contain the water. And so the water just sank right through the soil. And so it got a nickname of Sewell's Folly. But that left a mark. You know, I haven't looked, but I think there's still evidence of this canal out there in this part of the world. But that canal did still pull settlers to the region because they thought, oh, they're building this thing. It's going to be great.
Because 96 miles didn't happen in like 2 weeks.
Oh, no, that's a long ways, especially then. I mean, that was crazy length. Okay, so the final thing is going to lead into my ending here. And that's, how did it get its name? Ingalls. Talking about Ingalls. Okay. Ingalls did not start out as Ingalls. It started out as Sewell after Asa. Right. But it got renamed for a Kansas U.S. Senator named John James Ingalls, which was a big name in Kansas politics at the time, mostly forgotten now. So the little town on our map is named after a senator that most people today have never heard of. But if you're like me and a lot of people that grew up on the prairie, Ingalls does kind of ring a bell.
Really?
Right?
Well, yeah, we know some Ingalls in general.
Is there one in particular that comes to mind? Perhaps
not any.
Laura.
Well, yeah, Laura Ingalls Wilder.
Okay, very good. Very good. Okay. So it got me wondering, is there a connection between the town of Ingalls and Laura Ingalls Wilder? And so there actually is, but it's not real direct. So the town is named for the senator, not the author. And Laura's real Kansas chapter, the little house on the prairie, happened way down in the southeast corner of the state, nowhere near this part. But if we go back a few years, the two families do seem to braid together. Senator John Ingalls and Laura's father, Charles Ingalls, both trace back to the same Ingalls family that settled Lynn, Massachusetts back in the 1600s.
Oh my God.
A pair of brothers who came over from England.
Wow.
So there is multiple connections in our state to Laura Ingalls Wilder. Now, I bring this up because
I think Ingalls was their actual last name when they came over, or did they just do Ingalls because of England?
It's a great question. I have no idea. Oh, is that? I hadn't even thought of that, like being why they called it that. I have no idea.
I'm just throwing it out there.
If you're not aware, there is a new adaptation of Little House on the Prairie coming out out now. I'm not sure which.
It's out. It was in theaters. I don't think it's out digital distribution yet.
Oh, I thought it was a TV show.
Or maybe it's that.
I need a fact
There's
check.
a new thing out there you should Google.
Yeah. And it's getting some pretty good reviews. Now, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm guessing that this doesn't take place in Kansas. I'm guessing it takes place in Nebraska.
Probably Nebraska or Oklahoma is probably where it's filmed, actually. But.
Yeah, I would encourage you to go and check it out. I've heard that it's a more faithful representation of the books compared to the famous TV show from a few decades back. But yeah, I think Kansas should be proud of that connection and should be proud of communities like Ingalls and Cimarron.
Yeah.
Hey, okay, so it is in Kansas.
It is Kansas. Netflix
series on Netflix.
Okay.
So it's not very often that stories set in Kansas make it.
Yeah.
And so let's celebrate and make sure that this thing gets seen by a lot of people because it's very exciting.
Yeah.
So are you ready to throw that dart? I see you over there. I do think you should get up so we don't actually lose a camera.
Saying you don't when you pull a Ted Lasso. What you don't know is every Sunday I played darts with my father.
Yeah.
Till I was 11 years old.
One of my favorite scenes in Ted Lasso. So I'm going to do my best to describe what's happening here for our audio only audience. Okay, she's lining up. She's taking aim. There's a lot of concentration. Oh, where did we? We're almost home. Oh, wow. Yeah, we are surprisingly close. We might even be in McPherson.
We might be in McPherson.
Which might be problematic because I'm guessing you know more about McPherson than I do. But
I don't know. You might scrudge up some stuff that I don't know.
Well, what I'd do is I will overlay a map onto that, and I will figure out where...
Maybe we just do put a map on it, yeah.
Yeah, well, in full disclosure, it is very hard to find maps these days. I looked at 3 truck stops today trying to find a map, and I couldn't find one. So instead, I had to tape a piece of gaff tape to the...
I bet if you go to a travel center, centers will have them.
Okay, gotcha.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this inaugural journey on Dartography, and we'll see where the dart takes us.
Did you come up with that name, or is that an actual thing?
Well, I had another name, and then I was working with AI, and AI was going down this Dartography thing, and I was like, that's pretty catchy.
Dartography, it's good. I like it. Okay.
I do too. And it's truly random.
Yeah.
We might end up in Oklahoma. We might. We'll retro if for some reason the dart doesn't land.
For some reason we go out of state.
And it gives us an excuse to use our little auxiliary set over here.
Yeah, that's very true. Oh, goodness.
Well, you've done it. You've reached the end of another episode of Ask a Kansan.
Please make sure to visit us online at askakansan.com. Check out our Curious Kansan newsletter, sign up for it, and take a look at all the merch.
There's the best thing you can do to help us in our journey as a podcast is to share about the podcast with somebody else in your circle. There may be an episode that stands out to you. This episode, if those counselors, those teachers in your life, we'd love to connect with them. Yep.
And make sure to explore all the other episodes because they are not the same each time.
Yeah, and they're timeless too.
Yeah, they're very relevant.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. Have a great day.
Bye.